Can't we agree? Can we give them another hand clap? Well, how can I introduce this man tonight? A man that wears many hats, very many hats. A man that I have known many years, most of my life. Reverend Paul Mcphail is the General Secretary, National Leader of the Independent Assemblies of God, International Canada, and he ministers to 500 churches, 700 ministers, me included. With his wife, Anna Mae Mcphail, Pastor Paul is pastor of the Chatham Christian Center. The Chatham Christian Center Bible School course is sent to 42 nations and president of End Time Ministries. Paul was raised in a preacher's home, and Paul felt the call of God upon his life at the age of 10. He received his mission worker's license July the 12th, 63, local minister's license July 25th, 64, ordination July 9th, 66. Volunteer activity, he is the coordinator of the Chatham Kent Police Chaplain Unit, a member of the Erie Street End of Life Care Advisory Committee and the Blueprint Educational Committee, also Christian Horizons, Community Living, Chatham Kent Grief Counseling, Riverview Gardens Pastoral Committee. Pastor Paul likes to tell everyone that he is 16 plus, and that his birthday is on September the 31st. This gentleman who has a heart as big, so big. He had all of his beautiful hair cut off for such a good cause, and he did it willingly because his heart was in it. Also, another tidbit, Pastor Paul was speaking about Evangelist Dardar from Louisiana, and he had said that his first words that this evangelist spoke as a toddler was Dad, not Dardar. This is the man I present to you tonight, who makes everyone in the community, every place he travels, he makes them feel like he is somebody. I present to you Pastor Reverend Paul Mcphail.
Chairman Jack, fellow clergy, Neighbourlink volunteers, friends. It's a thrill to be able to share with you for a few moments. It's dark enough up there that I can't see the clock, so I think I have 4 hours, isn't it? When Karen asked me what I would title my presentation, I said I would entitle it, "We Are the Hands and Feet of Christ." And as we heard the blessing over the food this evening, it was used by Pastor Chris, and we thank him for doing that. Karen Kirkwood White of the United Way approached a number of ministers a few years ago and asked if the church here in Chatham, Kent could help in areas where others were unable to address. And as part of the United Way Chatham Kent Nurture the Future project, Neighbourlink was initiated, and we're pleased that we have the founding board for those that helped steer that. Chairman Richard, Pastor Andrew, and I were named as the three to help establish Neighbourlink. 5 churches joined together in establishing Neighbourlink here in Chatham, Kent. We were able to incorporate, we were able to register as a nonprofit charity, and in this very building, we selected Sis as our coordinator, and we believe from a great group of qualified people, we were honored to be able to select Sis, and she has led us so well. This evening, for our scripture reading, let me take you to Matthew chapter 7, a passage of scripture that you're very familiar with, verses 21 to 27. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Therefore, whosoever heareth these words, these sayings of mine, and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house. And it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. I find it more than a coincidence how similar these closing words of Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount are to the letter of James. At the heart of both of these is a radical command of love, summed up in Jesus and James' words, the royal law of love of neighbors. This, for Jesus and for James, I believe, is the acid test of faith. How will we care for our neighbors, especially the poor, the beaten down, those who suffer, those who are unloved, the ones that society says are unlovable? Of course, in Judaism, that was Jesus' history. And part of our heritage, caring for the poor, is the mandate of faith. There are always poor in the land. Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 11. And quickly follow. So open your